Greetings, and welcome back to another episode of The Greatest Show in the Galaxy, the show where I, the curator, discuss my personal favorite show of all time, personal favorite franchise of all time, Doctor Who. And no, we are not talking about the Star Beast, the special that aired earlier this week. Well, last week, from some people's point of view, it's confusing, timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly. But yeah, we are here to talk about something else today. And here to talk about this with me is Snark. How are you doing?
Fine. Oh, we're not talking the Star Beast?
I mean, we could if you want to, but that's really not the main topic.
No. It was fun. It was good.
All I'm
There,
going
we
to
talked about
say...
it.
What?
So there, we talked about it. It was fun and good.
Yeah, cool. All I'm going to say about this is meep meep.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
That's it. That's it. That's all anyone needs to say about the Star Beast. So, you know how this goes, right?
Sure.
You know what comes first.
Birthday time.
Yep. It's a birthday time, and today we're doing from the 21st to the 27th of November, and it's a pretty large group again that I had to
Wow.
filter out a lot. Again, something special must have happened 9 months ago that
Great.
caused such a large group of people, but
Mm-hmm.
here we go. To start with, we have Mr. Malcolm Hulk. I'm never sure how to pronounce his name. I've been pronouncing it Malcolm Hulk, like the Hulk, but there's
How's it spelt?
It's like Hulk, but with an E, so it's Hulk.
Oh, yeah, that's odd.
I have no idea. Either way, he's a writer. He wrote The Faceless Ones, The War Games, which we talked about all over this month, The Silurians, Colony in Space, The Sea Devils, Frontier in Space, Invasion of the Dinosaurs,
Whoa.
and he's uncredited for The Ambassadors of Death.
Wow.
He's also credited as the creator of The Silurians and The Sea Devils for any episode in the modern series that features these aliens. Now, this next
guy.
one... What?
So he was a busy guy.
Oh, yeah, very busy guy. This next one is pretty interesting, particularly for this list, because it's Nicholas Grace, also on the 21st. As you can see in this picture, he played Albert Einstein in the mini episode Death is the Only Answer, but he's got a lot of other credits, mostly on Big Finish, from Shadow Planet and World Apart to Return of the Cybermen, Gallery of Ghosts. But perhaps his most famous, his most notable role, particularly for this episode, which is why I kept him on the list, is he played a Time Lord named Straxus in Human Resources Part 1 and Part 2, which we are going to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
He also reappeared in The Vengeance of Morbius later in the same series on Big Finish. So,
Sure.
Yep. On the 23rd is I don't think it's someone I'm going to need to be explaining to you. It's Michelle Gomez. Missy, the first female version of the Master, among other things, but I mean it's mainly Missy that we're here to talk about. She's the Master.
Sure.
And don't let anyone else tell you differently. Also on the 23rd, which is also coincidentally the anniversary of Doctor Who, we have Mr. Michael Goff. Or Goff. Apologize if I'm mispronouncing the name. I mean, he is the Celestial Toy Maker, the character that is coming back, played by Neil Patrick Harris in the upcoming specials. But I mean, it's Michael Goff. He's Alfred from the Batman movies.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Of course, he also played Counselor Hedin in Arc of Infinity, but, well, it's really the Celestial Toy Maker that really caught everyone's eye here. Uh, on the 24th of November, though, we have the wonderful Miss Shirley Henderson, who, of course, played the character Ursula Blake in the episode Life of Monsters. But I mean, of course, everyone knows and remembers her from being Moaning Myrtle in the Harry Potter franchise, as well as the voice of Babu Freak in
Oh,
the
really?
in Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker. Yeah,
Hmm.
she's Babu Freak. Hey, one of very few actors who that have appeared in both Doctor Who, Star Wars, and Harry Potter. It's a smaller list than you would believe.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. Yeah.
On the 25th, we have Sophie Hopkins, who, of course, appeared in the Doctor Who series, spin off series Class, as playing the character April McLean. In the on the TV side of things, but then she also reprised the role on the Class Big Finish series, which sadly the show got canceled just when her character got a major overhaul. But well, you know what? That's just how TV works. Sometimes you know that better than I do.
Hmm.
On the 25th, the day that the Star Beast aired, we have Philippa Cal- Coulthard.
Oh boy.
I must have butchered that name. It's this lady right here. She played the character Georgie Turner in the K9 series. Not
Mm,
You Love with the Satanists, the other
mm-mm.
with K9, with the CG flying K9, whatever. Interestingly enough, her name is spelled Georgie with a J. So that's
That
something.
happens. That happens.
Also on the 25th, we have Mr. Simon Fisher Becker, who, of course, played the character of Doria Maldavar on the TV show in The Pandorica Opens, the big and A Good Man Goes to War, as well as The Wedding of River Song. But he's also reprised the role on Big Finish several times, I believe. I think he primarily appeared on Jenny the Doctor's Daughter series alongside Georgia Tennant as
Mm.
the Doctor's Daughter. Also on the 25th, a lot of people apparently, Paul Copley. He played the character of Clement MacDonald in the Torchwood series uh, Children of Earth. Not all five parts, just the four. That's four of the five parts, but he's also got several other Big Finish credits to his name, including Spare Parts, Graceless, and Missing Persons. On the 27th, this is kind of where we get into a tragic side. We have Howard Atfield, who played the character of Jeffrey Noble in the Runaway Bride, the father of Donna Noble, and was scheduled to come back for the Christmas specials and for season 4 when Donna made her return. He was basically gonna be the character played by Bernard Cribbins, Wilfred Mott, but
Wilf. Yeah.
unfortunately, he passed away in 2007 before he could have filmed any of that. That's why Bernard Cribbins took his place, and they created the character of Wilfred Mott to suit that particular niche. And boy, aren't we lucky that they got Bernard Cribbins for that. And
Hmm.
no offense to Howard Atfield, but just Wilf is just so iconic. And I cannot wait to see him in the specials. I really hope they didn't write him out completely. I mean, he kind of didn't appear in the Star Piece, but well, whatever. On the 27th, we have Samantha Bond, who played the character of Mrs. Wormwood on the Sarah Jane Adventures, particularly in Invasion of the Bane and Enemy of the Bane, and she will be very soon reprising her role on the Big Finish continuation of that series. Ronnie Takes on the World. I'm pretty sure the second box set is named Revenge of Wormwood on the 27th as well. Here's someone that'll make you very cheerful and happy. It's John Cleese. John Cleese,
Yes.
of course, has a blink and you'll miss it cameo in the episode City of Death. It's hilarious, but either way, it's John Cleese. I mean, as short of a cameo as it was, he's gotta be on the list.
Agreed.
Yeah. Another person that has to be on the list no matter what, also on 27th, Miss Verity Lambert. The woman without whom none of this would be possible. The first producer slash showrunner of Doctor Who, the creator of Doctor Who, alongside Sydney Newman. She is the mother of Doctor Who, no matter which way you look at it. And finally, to wrap things up on the 27th, still we have Mr. Johnny Byrne. He wrote several episodes from the Fifth Doctor era, particularly The Keeper of Traken, Arc of Infinity, and Warriors Deep, and The Guardians of Prophecy, which I'm pretty sure it's a big Finnish thing, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's one of the lost stories. So it's an episode he wrote for the TV show that never got produced. That's why Big Finish picked it up, and of course, him writing The Keeper of Traken makes him officially the creator of the character Nissa, who of course played in a lot of Doctor Who episodes, particularly on Big Finish. She stayed on for a couple of seasons in Doctor Who, but really Big Finish is where she shined. So the incredibly long list of people we had today. Thank you all. We quite literally could not do this all without you.
Yeah. Also, there's a little correlation with Samantha Bond and John Cleese from the Pierce Brosnan James Bond movies, because she was Miss Moneypenny, and he came on later on as R, the successor to Q, and of course that just went nowhere after died another day.
So wait, are you telling me Samantha Bond was in a Bond movie?
Yeah, it was right on the nose.
Yeah. I don't know what they were thinking there with that decision, but oh, okay, good for her.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just noticed that I completely forgot to organize the screenshots, but let's start diving into the topic. Now, this topic
Yeah.
we were supposed to discuss this last week, but you hadn't had enough time to listen to all the big finishes I've sent you. Then you still haven't.
Right. No,
But
I've
I
listened
mean,
to a
it
lot.
was an impossible situation. I put you in kind of an impossible situation, but at least you got through the first one. So we've been doing season finales all throughout this month, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you. This is really the idea that started it all. Like, I recently finished the 8 Doctor series on Big Finish, specifically the Lucie Miller series,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought that. I mean, the series itself was, so, but I felt like for the season finale specifically, they really stepped it up a lot. And I really, really like what they did with the season finales. So I figured I'd just make an entire month theme based around season finale episode.
Sure.
And, well, here we are. So you've just recently listened to Human Resources, parts 1 and part 2.
Right.
First of all, before we even start, what do you think of this series so far?
Okay. I really enjoy the 8th Doctor. I'm a big fan of the stuff he did with the adventures he had with Charlie Pollard and stuff. So yes, I was looking forward to some different 8th Doctor adventures I'd never heard before. Lucie Miller can be something. Considering I think she's only supposed to be about 20 years old, and she sounds like a 45-year-old black Puglian waitress or something like that who's had an entire life handed to her, like a chain smoker. Oh yeah, does not. The voice does not match the character for sure.
It gets even weirder if you listen to the behind the scenes after the episode's finished, where you hear the actress talk regularly, and it's a completely different person all of a sudden.
Why they decide to go northern with the accent? I don't know if it's
Well,
just
I
so
mean,
they can use
she's a
like
northern actress.
yeah, just to use all the slang, maybe is that it? But
Maybe.
the slang gets hard. It gets hard to listen to after a while if you haven't paid much attention to English television and stuff like that. Fortunately, I've been able to pick up a lot of it, but yeah, there's a lot to Lucy Miller. Uh, Not quite the same kind of relationship as the Doctor and Charlie for sure, but I will say that there were episodes that I've listened to so far that I quite enjoy, and there's some that are pretty awful, pretty awful. I'm looking at you, that glam rock episode, which I was so excited about because I was like, oh, they're going back to the '70s. It's gonna be glamorous. It's going to talk about T-Rex, maybe have something with David Bowie or something like that. No, stuck in a cafe for the entire thing.
Well, we
And there
talked
is a
about
bear monster. There is a bear monster, but that's it.
we talked about Bernard Cribbins. He was
Hmm.
there.
Yeah.
Well, he was a
Yep.
lot of fun,
Hmm.
and I just love that they had a moment of him just uh, going off on the doctor, going like, "Oi, doctor, leave those kids alone."
Goes on the nose as well.
Yeah,
I
that
don't.
that
I
was
don't. I don't know if Pink Floyd was ever considered glam rock, but yes,
yeah, I don't know.
I think they're the furthest thing from it, actually.
But there was also that moment of Lucy going, "Oh look, a stairway to heaven."
Hmm. Yeah, they should. They could have called it a whole
I don't
bunch
know.
of things. But
I liked that. If
yeah,
you didn't, I mean, you know it probably better than I do, but I appreciated those jokes.
right. But going back to like to begin to those first ones, the like Blood of the Daleks and stuff like that. It's weirdest name for a planet I've ever heard.
Red Rocket Rising. It's
Red Rocket
awesome. What's
Rising.
wrong with that?
Well, Red Rocket is also something you would call something that happens to your dog. I don't think I have to explain it any further, but a lot of people always
All
call you Red Rocket.
right.
So that's why I was like, where did they come up with the name of this? How could they come up with the name? But that was actually a pretty good episode. So, like, seeing that's the first episodes, uh, I think it got off onto the right foot because those were two pretty good episodes. It was
And
just, yeah, it,
really quick, do you know who played the villain in those two episodes? The woman
oh,
with the
yes.
professor and
Yes, because it says on the title screen. It's oh gosh, Captain Britain there.
well, it's uh, Haley Atwell.
That's it, Haley Atwell.
Haley Atwell.
Hmm. Yeah,
Way
that was
before Captain
right before.
America was a thing.
Yeah, this
Well,
is well
the
before.
movies, that is.
I guess you're right. And Cat was her name, Agent Carter or whatever first. So yeah,
Yeah,
I found that out afterwards. I would never have recognized the voice in a million years.
yeah. She sounds very different.
Yeah. But yeah. Then there's, you know, there's a lot of Lucy Miller. There's a lot of Lucy Miller coming up.
Yeah, a lot of Lucy Miller, and not a fan. I'm not a fan of the Lucy Miller,
No.
which is weird because people seem to like her for some reason.
I don't get it. I
I
don't
don't get
get
it
it.
either.
Um, let's say, yeah. So the was it Horror of Glamrock? Is that what it was called?
Yeah,
No, yeah.
it's kind of a reference to the horror of Fang Rock, which is a Tom Baker episode.
Okay. Yeah. This one then. Yeah, it's pretty low spot. I would say for myself, just listening to Big Finish episodes, but I did really like Immortal Beloved,
Me too.
the one that came after it, the one about basically regenerating into younger bodies and stuff like that. They get a new body at last every time, which is pretty nice.
Hold on, hold on. You said it. I gotta do it. A new body at last.
Yeah, just like that.
A new body at
At
last.
last, at last. Uh, yeah, the one thing I thought was strange. So they have a character named Eris in that one. In the very next episode, they have a character named Eris. I just, it's like
Uh,
they only had two names to come up with it. The one in
I,
Phobos.
I don't remember that.
pretty sure that's Eris in one, and then Eris or something like that in
It's
the other one.
possible. But speaking of Immortal Beloved, do you know who
Yeah,
played
Eris,
the?
Eris in that one, played by Neris Hughes. Holy, Eris and Eris by Neris. There you go.
It's a weird coincidence. But
Yeah.
do you know who plays the Zeus, the guy named Zeus in Immortal Beloved?
Oh no, I didn't check. I'm checking right now. Ian McNeice. Now,
Yeah,
why would I know that name?
he was Winston Churchill on the TV show.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay,
mean,
that's
even
cool.
even if you look at the cover photo for Immortal Beloved, you can kind of recognize him.
Oh, sure. Yeah, in my head, that is not how I pictured Zeus
Yeah,
at
well,
all.
from the name.
Yeah. That's a very good. I think that's a good episode too. It's just why they decided to call themselves after Greek gods is a strange thing, but I really like that episode. I thought it was of the first bunch, probably my favorite one.
Cool.
I'm
I mean,
thinking.
this season's very hit and miss. This series, I should say, is very hit and miss for me,
Hmm.
mainly because of the companion. And you know me, I can have very extreme opinions about companions at
Mm.
times. And if the
Clara.
companion, yeah,
Sorry.
thank you for bringing that up.
Hmm.
And if the companion doesn't work for me, it really affects my viewing experience from the movie. Case in point, the massacre of St. Bartholomew's Disease. Let's not talk about that one. But if the companion doesn't work for me, this could really ruin my whole experience um, the episodes.
Right.
But so Lucie Miller just randomly shows up on the TARDIS
Yeah.
because he's kind of part of some weird Time Lord witness protection program.
Does this ever make sense to you? This whole thing turns
No,
out the CIA puts her on there for some reason, but turns out skipping ahead to the season finale, it's
yeah, because that's
the
really what
wrong
we're here to
person.
talk about.
The wrong person.
Yeah, it's the wrong person. Like, what the hell, Time Lords? How could you get this wrong so badly? No wonder you lost the Time War. What the hell?
Yeah.
By the way, you look at this cover photo.
Hmm.
The main guy on this cover photo was the same, the hospital manager from Martha's first episode, Smith and Jones.
Oh,
Like, this whole series is littered with recycled actors from the show.
I'm gonna say like England might only have 60 different actors or something like that. They just have to keep putting them in everything.
Yeah, it's very possible. That's why
Hmm.
so many. That's why so many of the big Finnish Doctor Who actors have like 50 credits from 25 different characters.
Sure. Now, is that the picture the of the lady in the glasses? Is that supposed to be the headhunter, or is that supposed to be what's her name, Karen?
Yes, that's the headhunter because
Yeah.
she pops up in a couple of these episodes, and she's on the cover art for some of them.
And how on the nose is it that there's someone named Karen who's supposed to be one of the worst people who ever lived?
Well, to be fair, this was 2006 or 7. I don't think.
Oh, so they're predicting the future?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's Doctor Who, obviously, but I don't think that term was established as what it is today
I don't
just
think
yet.
so either. I don't think
But I
so.
mean, you listen to the episode. Karen's kind of a nice person.
Yeah, she's great.
So again, how could the Time Lords get this so wrong? It's bonkers.
Now, as well, yeah. As we go through the story, let's go through the story maybe first before we start talking
Yeah.
about the end of the
Now,
story.
it's been a while since I've listened to it, but I mean, it's kind of cool. This
Hmm.
random office building that turns out to be a factory for Cybermen, and
Yeah.
suddenly the name Human Resources makes sense, right?
Right.
It's just like the best Doctor Who titles. It's a double meaning there.
Double entendre to it for sure.
Honorable
Yeah.
entendre.
Yeah. Now, you can't forget that not only are they Cyberman factories, they're also like giant walking at war machines.
Pretty much, yeah. Like the giant cyber king from the Next Doctor episode, which came out a couple of years after this. So again, predicting the future.
Unbelievable.
I think the Big Finish guys, they got something on their hands, right?
Yeah, they get it.
They get it.
Right.
So since is this the only one out of these season finales you've listened to,
hmm
your thoughts? What did you think of it?
I actually liked it quite a bit. It took a little bit for it to get going and stuff like that. Lucy kind of just settling in as the some kind of like thinking like she was like all this was supposed to be a dream, all that stuff was supposed to be a dream or something like that. Like she had gone to a job interview uh, and supposedly doesn't remember getting the job, but she's there at work or whatever, working with that girl Karen, who's kind of showing her the ropes. Uh, and then the doctor gets involved only until it's a little bit later, in fact, in the episode. But her setting up stuff with the uh, higher ups, and yeah, it was like it didn't make Lucy annoying, at least in the beginning. Lucy was fine, and I think that's a big plus to the episode. Like if you can make her enjoyable, you're winning. Um, then, of course, uh, she ends up uh, speaking her mind about something, gets fired, and
She's
is
Lucy.
yeah, uh, gets thrown out of the office. Gets has to leave the office, and that's where you find out it's a great big huge machine, and they're in some desolate world where these things are fighting each other. Now, what I don't like, one thing I'm trying to piece together is the security guy. Is he supposed to be some big kind of ape or something like that? Some
That
space ape? The
that's
sec-
the vibe I was getting, like
ah,
a gentle giant type person.
well, he was a security guy. I don't know how gentle he would have been, but
Well, if you
uh,
piss him off, yeah, surely,
yeah,
but
yeah. But
normally it was kind of nice.
but no one picked this up, and then this was kind of weird having this huge person there.
Yeah, no one
This is
notices
just
that. Like,
people are fine with
pay
it.
pay no mind to the ape man behind the counter, behind the curtain.
Yeah. So there's some things you just go with in
Yeah,
Doctor Who.
I mean, it's Doctor Who.
Yeah, it's fine. That's when the headhunter is there and stuff. We find out more about the headhunter. We start finding out more about this what Lucy and stuff like that and what she's supposed to have done. But turns out the CIA uh, bottled it, and they were really going after Karen, and they were saying that this person, like that Lucy, was supposed to be the one who was supposed to be the responsible for hundreds of millions of deaths or something like that, and she was some sort of a despot, almost on the same kind of level as like a Hitler or a Stalin or something like that. Like her, how would
Really?
anybody? You're okay. They're supposed to be charismatic. Like the worst people are supposed to be charismatic. What is charismatic about Lucie Miller? I can't think of a single thing. But then you hear Karen, and she's so nice. She's friendly. She's outgoing. She's kind of funny. So you kind of get it. But she's just a someone who works at the building too. Like nothing special about her. Responsible for hundreds of millions of deaths. 50.
Give me a break.
All right. Yeah. It's like, all right, whatever the story needs, I guess. So it goes on. We figure out what these buildings are actually doing, what's going on, or the doctor does. Guys, we got Cybermen on our hands. Uh, yeah, it's nice to hear the classic kind of Cyberman voice by Nicholas Briggs. I always like that. So close to being Dalek-ish, but not. You can tell the difference between the two with the long ways they talk in their sentences.
We require human resources. Bring us people.
Yeah, so I'm trying to remember how the end goes 'cause I had to listen to so many so fast. Uh, let's see. So somehow they get back aboard one of the cities. I believe it's the doctors. The one that the doctor in the doctor had already ingrained himself into an office, uh, and that's when he started figuring out stuff that the things aren't all above board. That there's may have something to do with some robotic type people. But I can't remember how they get back on board. There's the three of them. There's Karen, there was Lucy, and they were sent out with somebody else. Was that the Time Lord guy?
No, there were these people fighting against the Cybermen
Mm,
outside the building,
right.
the office building.
Yeah. So again, I'm having trouble because I had to I listened to a bunch of these in a row. So I'm trying to remember how the rest of this how's the rest of this go. So they get back on board with the headhunter there, the Cybermen, the other Time Lord. What was his name?
Straxus.
Straxus. And he worked for. And did he work for the company? Was he like the head man up or whatever? The like the doctor's
The Time
boss and all?
Lord?
Was that
The Time Lord?
right? I'm trying to remember. Sorry,
No,
when you listen to somebody at a time, it all gets kind of jumbled in your head.
The Time Lord was CIA. The
Oh, the
Time Lord
CIA
CIA,
guy.
not the regular CIA.
Yeah, yeah. The CIA I know from the Gallifrey series.
The Celestial Intervention Agency.
Yes, but not the same CIA guy that we know from. It's a totally different CIA
Yeah.
guy.
Narvin.
Narvin.
Who
That
does pop up occasionally on outside the Gallifrey series.
does he pop up in this like with the Eighth Doctor? Because I don't remember him at all.
Not that I remember.
Yeah. So there we go. We don't know that
Maybe
yet.
shows up with some of the other doctors here and there.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah. Uh, trying to remember now. Yeah. So, anyways, it turns out Karen ends up going with the headhunter. Now, when does is I don't know what the kind of power the headhunter ever held. It didn't sound like much. He always seemed like an employee of somebody. I don't know how going with the headhunter is going to lead to, or could lead to Karen becoming this huge maniacal despot in the future. But I don't, does it actually play? Does is this one of the storylines that plays out throughout the rest of this series?
I'm being very careful about what I should
Oh,
reveal and what I shouldn't.
very good.
I'm just gonna say that Karen and the headhunter are gonna be quite tight. I mean, they're gonna show up together a bunch of times.
Yeah, because I've gone through a couple of the episodes since this. Uh, like the one where they were supposed to steal a painting or something like that, or a diamond from a train.
Yeah, Grand Theft Cosmos.
Oh, right, Grand Theft Cosmos, and it
Yeah,
turns
I was
out,
wondering if I should ask you about this.
yeah, go ahead. It's one of the last ones I actually
I
listened to the whole
like
thing
that
of.
one.
You don't like that one, you said?
I said I did
Oh
like
yeah, it
that
was
one.
good. It was good.
I'm an art fan myself. I studied art in high school. I majored in engineering it,
Ooh,
and I really felt like it was a nice touch. The painting that came to life, and no one could look at it or something.
right. There's the um, statue also, which was the Guardian. The fact that he made a diamond that had his entire universe in it. It turns
Yeah,
out the artist guy who was such a bad person or whatever trapped himself in the diamonds so he could have his own universe. But when he's freed, he's more than willing just to kill everybody in that universe
yeah, of course.
for a share of money, for a share of the money, not all the money, just a share of it.
Here.
Yeah, he's not a monster. Just
Well,
willing,
he is, but
just willing to commit super genocide or whatever throughout the entire universe. Well, that's fine.
well,
It's a small universe.
to correct you, he is a monster, but he's not greedy.
Oh, that's true. That's he has his limits.
Yeah. So what I think is really good about this series, first of
Hmm.
all, cards on the table, they were trying to emulate the modern series on the TV show, right?
All right.
This is basically the intention of the show. Nicholas Briggs pretty much said as much. They were just basically trying to do what the TV show was doing. Like that's why they switched from being these four-parters like the classic series. They switched to being just 1 hour single episodes until a later point in this series. But that's neither
What
here
year
nor
did
there.
these come out?
Uh, it was between 2007, 2011, or something like that.
Yeah, saying 2007 for human resources. So
So,
yeah.
in a lot of ways, they were trying to make Lucie Miller like Donna Noble, not knowing, of course, that Donna Noble was gonna come back. They didn't. They never expected Don to see Donna again. So they
Right.
try to kind of base a character similar to Donna. Ended up being Lucie Miller, which, if you ask me, she's Donna without the funny part.
Yeah.
Like she's just obnoxious.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, she sounds like a talking onion sometimes.
Ooh.
That's the vibe I'm getting from this character and got from this character.
I
That is,
like an onion.
yeah, she
Wow.
sounds
All
like
right.
an onion. That's the only thing I can say about her.
Okay.
Which is weird again because you listen to Sheridan Smith talking in the behind the scenes interviews. She's a lovely person. Why do you have to
Sure.
make Lucy such an obnoxious character? I never understand. But whatever.
And
You know what?
she flirts with the doctor weirdly. Like it's a weird type
Yeah,
of
that's
flirting.
not uh fun flirt. That's just weird flirt.
Yeah. It's odd. It's talking about how she makes
I
you.
mean, it
That's the
was
whole.
odd.
You looking at my bum? Were you? Were you looking at my bum? Like a
It was
cheeky
weird.
bum
It
mucker.
was weird enough when Charlie did it because of the age gap. But
Yeah.
when Charlie did it, it was kind of charming. Lucy, not so much. But
Yeah.
regardless,
Mind you, she's supposed to be like 20 years old. She
yeah,
keeps talking
they
about
were
how
both.
he's just an old fogey the entire time. I don't
Yeah,
know how old
even if you
age is supposed to
eliminate the
be.
whole he's centuries old, even Paul McGann, the actor himself, when he took on the role of the Doctor from the movie, he was too old for her. So
Yeah.
whatever,
Whatever.
whatever.
You just go with it. It's a it's an audio adventure
Yeah, it's
at
an
least.
audio thing. So, but before I got sidetracked, I think what's really cool about this, trying to emulate the modern series, is they have a nice, healthy balance of new villains, new monsters, but at the same time, they bring back favorites from the TV show. And
Hmm.
that's something I kind of wish the TV show, especially at the time, did more. Like obviously you're gonna have the Daleks, the Cybermen, the Master. Those are the three that you know the holy trinity of Doctor Who villains. Like they will always be there. But every once in a while, I enjoyed because going off of the episodes you've already listened to, you had um, well, you listened to the Zygon one, so
Yep.
they brought back
Zygon,
Zygon.
Daleks,
Well, yeah, of course
Cybermen.
they open with the Daleks. You
Hmm.
gotta start big, right?
Yep.
Now, if I probably should have done this ahead of time, but if I go over to the Big Finish website for a second there,
Oh boy.
so, so yeah, you kind of have the Vortisaurs, which were introduced during
Right. Yep.
um,
With
the Charlie
Charlie.
Pollard stuff.
Hmm.
Uh, you got Autons in one of the episodes, Brave New Town.
Yep.
Zygons again. And going forward, this is where it kind of gets into spoiler territory for you. But you got Crinoids, you got Wirren. So yeah, and on top of that, you got these new villains with the Headhunter.
Yep.
and such. So it's really there's a really cool balance that they did there. But where I'm really going with this is they really saved the big guns for the season finales. I mean, we just talked about the Cybermen for the first season finale. The second season finale steps this up several notches. So, Sisters of the Flame. Does that say anything to you?
Not off the top of my head. It looks like is she pregnant in that? Why is she sticking her? Is she just
Yeah, I have
really
no idea.
weirdly leaning back? And
Yeah,
I don't know.
the only way I can see it making sense is if you're standing like this.
Yeah, that'd be about it.
What the hell? But
Maybe we have to ask the doctor a few questions.
yeah,
We could also do
someone did not do a good Photoshop. Let's put it that way.
that. No, it wasn't the best one.
Yeah, but does the name Sisters of the Flame say anything to you?
I know it should, but off the top of my head, I'm not thinking about it.
So have you ever seen the TV episode The Brain of Morbius?
The Brain of Morbius. Is that a new Who one or an old Who
No,
one?
it's a Tom Baker episode.
I may not have. At least not the full thing. I may have been one of the ones I watched in the afternoons when I was a kid.
That's something I think you're really gonna enjoy,
Ooh.
especially the monster design.
Yes.
But so this is a very linchpin episode because it introduces the idea of the sisterhood of Khan. So Khan is like a neighboring planet to Gallifrey. Before Time Lords were Time Lords, they were ruled by these space witches called the Pythians until Rassilon showed up with his armies, kicked their butts, banished them to Karn. One final revenge, the Pythia, the leading Pythia queen, essentially made Time Lords sterilized, meaning they can no longer have children. It's a
Okay.
whole thing. Not going to get into that right now, but the Pythians went to Karn and established their own society called the Sisterhood of Karn or the Sisters of the Flame. Basically, they keep the flame of eternal life, and those are the ones that showed up on in the mini episode for the 50th anniversary special with Paul McGann, where they gave him the goblet of lemonade.
Oh, sure, yeah,
Which
sure, yeah.
he drank some lemonade and just regenerated into the War Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, these are the Sisterhood of Khan, and well, they're back in this episode. Now you can't really have the Sisterhood of Khan without having Morbius himself. Morbius, of course, was a former president of Gallifrey, who was a vicious warmongering tyrant who basically went to war with the entire universe. So the Time Lords deposed him, robbed him of any future regenerations, and just exiled him. They thought they killed him, but his brain survived, and that's where the Brain of Morbius storyline comes in, where he basically built a new body for himself. In this episode, he kind of takes over a different Time Lord's entire body and gains his regeneration cycle, becoming Morbius again properly.
Are you
And
saying he
basically,
has a new body at last?
oh well, yeah, you gotta say it again.
A
A
new
new
body
body
at
at
last.
last.
A new
New
body
body at
at
last.
last. So good.
So yeah, apparently that's a thing that a lot of Time Lords do.
Yeah.
And speaking of the Master, again, trying to emulate the TV show. This came out about a year after the season finale with John Sims, Master, where he did what he did to the Doctor, and it's like a year later, you see what the world has become under the rule of the Master. They basically have something like that with Morbius. I mean, you can kind of see he took over several different places. He stole the Statue of Liberty and just put it somewhere else because he felt like it.
Jeez. All right.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm not gonna spoil too much, but spoiler alert: the Doctor stops him.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, I know, shocking, right?
Yeah.
Here's another thing I think you're really going to appreciate
Yeah.
with this two-parter. It features, you see here in this picture, a giant centipede police officer voiced by Alexander Siddig.
Nice. I was trying to think when you were saying Sisters of the Flame. I'm looking at this thing. It's like, do I remember a centipede monster at all? I couldn't think of anything. So I'm glad to know at least that that isn't a part of the Sisters of the Flame. It's a centipede cop. Is that what you just said?
Yeah, it's a centipede police officer voiced by
Nice.
Alexander Siddig.
Nice. Little
So
Deep Space Nine.
yeah, Dr. Bashir.
Mm-hmm.
And, Ra's al Ghul.
Oh, sure. Can't forget that.
Uh, so the next season finale, which also brings in another iconic villain from the classic series, a villain I never thought would actually anyone would bring back. But you got the Eight Truths. Can you guess which villain? Well, aside from the obvious, which is the Headhunter, which is right
Yeah, I was gonna
front and
say, oh,
center.
it's the Headhunter. You couldn't believe that she'd make it back.
Yeah, no, not that. Aside from the Headhunter, can you guess which classic era villain is coming back?
I wouldn't have a clue. If you
We got
couldn't
several
believe that
clues.
if someone who you wouldn't imagine coming back, then I doubt I would get it. Who comes back in the Eight Truths?
I mean, you said you don't have a clue, but there are several clues.
Eight? The Eight Truths. Oh, you mean like those big spider legs that are on the thing? So
Hmm.
like the spiders from uh is that John Pertwee's last episode?
Go. I command you, go.
I have come to give you the power you seek.
Power?
Power.
You're getting all the greatest hits in this week.
Yep. So the eight legs are back.
Mm-hmm.
The or the giant spiders, as we call them.
Yeah.
Ruled by the Great One. All praise to the Great One.
Is
And
that the same one? Is it the same one?
I think it might be a different one, a
Okay.
different Great One. All praise to the Great One.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you can see the blue crystal is back from from Metropolis 3, and look how they chose to name this episode.
Another double entendre.
Yeah, very very on the nose.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so the Headhunters shows back up. There's giant spiders. I'm not going to reveal too much. There's some interesting stuff happening with Lucie Miller in this episode. Not going to lie. But
Well, she wasn't even on the cover for either of those. The
let me see.
Headhunter. Oh no, there she is. I thought the
Okay, so
Headhunter in the first.
that's her,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
yeah, she's not here for this one.
Yeah. Hmm.
By the way, I forgot to mention Samantha Bond is also in another one of these, the Scapegoat, I think. So that's
Cool.
one of the Eighth Doctor ones. So that's another thing you should look forward to. But should we jump right into the final two?
Yeah.
Okay, so the last two are Lucie Miller, that's the name,
Okay.
and To the Death.
Ooh.
Not very ominous at all, right?
No. It'll be fine. Okay,
So,
and she's wearing some kind of leg braces now.
yep, that is part of the episode.
And who's the kid supposed to be? Like at first, I thought it was like Adric or something like that, but it's like that doesn't make any sense.
This kid right here?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a very good question. Can you tell me who the woman on the left is?
Oh, who is she?
That's Susan Foreman, the doctor's granddaughter.
Oh, what?
Yep.
Look how much older she looks.
Well, time
So is
has
that
passed, you know.
so is that his great grandkid or something like that?
Yes, that's her son.
Oh, okay.
Played by Paul McGann's son, by the way.
Oh, how'd they manage that?
Well, I mean, I'm assuming they're pretty close.
well, you don't want to assume anything. Well,
Um,
that's cool. Well, and Lucy has some kind of weird eye now. Uh-oh.
yeah, weird eye, weird leg brace things. There's something else you're pretty kind of avoiding.
What, Daleks?
Yep, Daleks. We got Daleks back. So they opened this whole series with Daleks, and they're finishing it off with Daleks.
Sure.
What more could you ask for?
Yeah. Who wrote this? Nicholas Briggs? What do you know?
Well, yeah, of course. He's got to write for himself, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So this one, I'm not gonna lie, they really went out with a bang.
Oh, very good.
And then again, being very, very cautious on my wording here, they basically gave it the Rogue One ending. If you
Ooh,
catch my meaning,
I
Star Wars
do.
Rogue One.
I do. All right.
So there's something very interesting that happens here. This is probably the darkest and bleakest Doctor Who storyline of all time. One of.
Wow. Yeesh. All right.
I mean, you'd figure this much when the Daleks show up, that it ain't gonna end good. But well,
Yes,
now I've given you something to look forward to.
yeah.
But
Oh, like Sisters of the Flame was my very next episode to watch. Sisters of the Flame and Morbius. So there you go. Or to watch, to listen to. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Wow, they did a lot.
yeah, imagining having to buy all of these.
19 more after that. Yikes. All right. All right. Now I'll listen to them all.
So before we wrap this up, can you tell me who the guy in the bow tie is right next to Paul McGann?
He looks like the guy from Love Actually.
Might as well be him. Graham Garden as the actor.
Right. And I bet you that other lady is Carol Ann Ford.
Nope.
Okay, damn it. Oh, is it Nikki Wardley?
And that's Nikki Wardley.
Yeah.
Really, very close friend to Catherine Tate.
Oh, very nice. Graham Garden. What is he in? I'm gonna find out. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so what do they do in this story?
I can't answer that without spoiling.
Oh, really? They're that deep into it.
I'll just give you a hint. It's a character from Doctor Who I love very much.
Wow. Is he the first Doctor?
Good guess, but very, very close, but no.
Wow. Okay, then I wouldn't. I don't. Yeah, I don't want to put you in a spot where you have to put anything out. So that's
I mean,
fine.
again, I just want to see if you can guess how well you know me and my love for Doctor Who characters. If you don't get it, then that's fine. It's going to be a surprise for you. But if you do get it, then good for you.
Yeah, I would have said the first Doctor because there wasn't one around to play him before. Who else could it be?
Character I love very much.
It's not Clara. It's not Clara.
And clearly not, but it's again character I love very much. And I said you were very close when you said the first Doctor.
Can't be the Master.
Nope, but you're still very close.
Is it the Doctor's brother from the Gallifrey series?
Now you're getting colder.
Oh boy, I don't know. I'll just listen to the thing and then I'll find out.
All right, fine. So
Yeah.
you didn't guess, but You got very close. You were skating around the
Oof,
answer.
the worst. All right.
Yeah. It's a character that pops up regularly. He does show up a bunch of times throughout this particular season, but that is a story for another time.
Ooh.
And I have a feeling I already have picked out my topic for next month. I think it's a character that's going to show up in
Ooh.
it.
All
But
right.
I'm not really sure if I should reveal what my topic for next month is. I'll save it for when next month starts back up again. So,
Sure.
in summation, how much are you looking forward to these episodes? We talked about what your feelings on the series so far that you've
Yep.
listened to.
Hmm.
How much are you looking forward to? Shall we say the the Sisterhood of Khan, and then Alexander Siddig's Centipede, the return of Morbius, the Eight Legs, and some Dalek stories featuring the Doctor's granddaughter and great grandson.
Well, I'm right, I'm right at the second series finale. So obviously, I'm looking forward to that. I'll be able to listen to them by the end of tomorrow or Wednesday. But you have really sold me on the final episodes, especially with that style of ending that you described. Plus, now I have to figure out who this character is because it's going to drive me nuts. But of course, that's 19 episodes into my future. So, so it'll be a good
It's
couple
to
weeks till I find
motivate
out.
you. It's
Yeah,
to motivate you.
yeah. Well, I get to listen. I get to listen to about two a day or so. So we'll see
Cool.
how long it takes.
I mean, I'll just say this for the final two. They did something very interesting with Lucie Miller. Doesn't make me like the character anymore, but it's definitely
It's
interesting. I appreciate the attempt at what they tried to do there.
Yeah, it doesn't redeem her in your eyes, but at least they tried to.
I mean, to me, it's like Clara. That character is irredeemable.
Ooh.
I still appreciate what they're trying to do with the character, but to me,
Mhm.
there are some Doctor Who characters that to me are irredeemable.
Oh boy. All right. I get it. I'm still looking forward to
At least finally we get a companion that I'm not a fan of that you understand me.
it. Yeah, this one I get. This one I get. Don't worry.
All right. So, Mr. Snark,
Hmm.
where can the good people of the interwebs find you?
You can find me over on the Let's Get Ready Network. We talk every week Buffy the Vampire Slayer over on the Rewatchers Council. We're going through every single episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I believe it's this week. We are going to be watching Never Kill a Boy on the First Date. Love that episode. Can't wait to talk about it with Adelia. Probably Ferris if he watches the show. We also have the starting 11 over on the highlights, and that's our English Premier League series where we talk about the weekend's happenings in the English Premier League. Those that airs Tuesdays on the Let's Get Ready Network highlights channel, and also weekends on Let's Get Ready Network. Let's Get Ready Network After Snark Show with Danny, where we talk about whatever we want to talk about. We can talk about whatever we want, except we have to come up with titles now because it's on YouTube. So I guess we have to have something to talk about. As long as we talk about it for a couple minutes, then we can just talk about whatever we want.
Yeah, I still remember I did a almost daily series of just me walking around playing Pokemon Go.
Sure.
The struggle to come up with a good title for every episode was awful.
Yeah. Not
I
great.
did get a couple of good ones, but I got a lot of them that were just trash.
I'm sure they were fine. You could always go part one and part two if you come up with a good one.
No, I gave them numbers and title.
Oh boy. Yeah. Yeah, it's not the best. So we've had two sequel episodes, I believe, in the short time we've done it, but that's because one episode had to get cut in half because I had to run to work.
Just,
Yeah, and one episode was just too long.
just like Human Resource was part 1 and part 2, and
Sure.
Blood of the Daleks part 1 and part 2.
That's right.
I mean, you're in good company.
Yeah.
Either way, you can find me every Monday on this show, The Greatest Show in the Galaxy, where I talk about the greatest show in the galaxy, Doctor Who.
Mhm.
I also do a show with Soda on this channel right here called Fun with Flags, where we teach each other about each other's respective countries. And you can also check me out on my YouTube channel, where I talk even more Doctor Who. I do weekly reviews of every single Doctor Who episode from 1963 all the way to 2022. I tried to do a reaction to the Star Beast. I recorded myself, but the recording went all wrong, and yeah, something went wrong. I know what the problem is, but it doesn't look like I'll be able to upload it in its current format. So I
Okay.
apologize. Maybe I'll just record a mini review for it in the coming weeks. Stay tuned for that. And you can also check out all the other channels from the wider Benverse at large, like Something to Talk About, Galaxy Geeks, Multiverse of Geekdom, Movie Lovers Unite, The Midnight Cinema, 8-Time Reviews, and of course the In the Front Row, which is still not pictured on this thumbnail. So that's it for now. Thank you all for watching. And on behalf of the birthday girl herself, in the name of Missy. Sorry, wrong soundbite. It's weird that they're both like neck and neck with each other. So,
Sure.
in the words of Missy herself,
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
goodbye.